Greetings Retroheads, this is the Retro to the Dano, and here is a list of my personal top 10 favourite zones from the original Mega Drive, or Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog games. I'm just focusing on the Egg Saga series of games here, which includes Sonic 1, 2, 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. I hope you enjoy it, and please remember that this list is just based on my own personal opinion. I don't expect you all to agree with it. If you respect my opinion, then I'll certainly respect yours. Deal? Deal. Right then, let's get started. Number 10. Angel Island Zone. At number 10 on my personal list is Sonic 3's Angel Island Zone. I mainly enjoyed the setting and overall atmosphere of this place. This zone first introduced us to Knuckles the Echidna, who bursts unexpectedly out of the ground and steals the Chaos Emeralds upon Sonic and Tails' arrival after the events of Sonic 2. So I like how this zone continues the Egg Saga storyline from the previous game. There's plenty of high-speed sections with glorious loops and a plethora of vines to swing on, which can enable you to reach different routes. I also like how Knuckles' route through the zone is quite different and more underground than Sonic's. The entire place even gets set on fire, for crying out loud. How Sonic and Co survive is anyone's guess, but it just added so much atmosphere and surprise to a zone that is already packed full of surprises as it is. The almost cinematic appearance of the flying battery ship towards the end of Act 2 attempting to drop bombs on Sonic's blue bonds was another nice touch, and the boss after that sees Robotnik playing peekaboo behind a giant waterfall. Angel Island is awesome and was a great action-packed starting point for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Number 9. Starlight Zone. I love the original Mega Drive Sonic game, but a couple of its zones could be a bit tedious and lack the quick pace that was supposed to be the Blue Hedgehog's selling point. Starlight Zone, however, is not one of those zones. There's plenty of high-speed loop-de-loop action here, but with the added challenge of avoiding those pesky bombs and a few bottomless pits. Taking the higher routes in Starlight Zone is usually the safer option, and I enjoy using those seesaws to reach higher platforms. It even has a version of the opinon badnik which doesn't fire with spiky projectiles, so avoid them at all costs unless you are invincible. Strategy! Starlight Zone is fast-paced with added challenge, which is worth getting through all that labyrinth water to find. It gave Sonic 1 a much needed speed boost towards the end of the game, and has one of the better boss fights too, with Robotnik dropping spike balls on a trio of seesaws which you can launch back at him with well-timed jumps. Also, that music. Number 8. Casino Night Zone. Probably one of the marquee zones of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and also one that is fondly remembered, at least by me anyway. Casino Night Zone introduced a pinball element to the Sonic franchise, with pinball flippers, bumpers and point slots everywhere. I read somewhere that this zone inspired the creation of the 1993 spin-off game Sonic Spinball. It was really fun being able to launch Sonic and Tails high and around this stage, and there was plenty of it to explore. Its most memorable moment is provided of course by the slot machines, which you can enter in order to try and obtain some extra rings. This is also a massive gamble, as you instantly lose 100 rings, or all of them if you have less than 100, if you get 3 Eggmans in a row. Ouch! The music fits perfectly with the casino theme, and the boss fight at the end can be quite challenging at first, as I found out as a small child, but I kept at it and figured out my own strategy for beating him eventually. Casino Night Zone is colourful. That means colourful and fun at the same time. Moving on. Number 7. Egg Zone from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So you've worked your way through most of the game, and your reward is a fast-paced challenge aboard Dr. Robotnik's Star Wars-inspired mothership for the second time. The difference between this version of the Egg compared to Sonic 2's is that this is a fully fledged zone this time. Egg Zone is chock full of speed, danger and challenge. There's lots to avoid, including live electricity panels, death pits and moving conveyor belts which try to throw you into some deadly spikes. It also has a transportation system where it will probably be quicker to walk, and this zero gravity section where bouncing off the yellow bumpers and turning them red is the key if you want to move on. While Act 2 adds to the mix with its upside down sections, the controls are thankfully not reversed, so there is added challenge but in a fair way. I really enjoy the boss fights too, particularly Act 1's with its eerie Eye of Death, Just when you think you've destroyed it with the initial 8 hits, you're treated to a second part of the fight where the eye floats around the screen while attempting to laser Sonic to death. Nice. If you can make it to the end of the Death Egg Zone, you are then treated to another boss fight, involving a giant mech, complete with giant hands, giant flamethrowers, a giant laser beam, and a disintegrating floor. It really doesn't get more epic than that, does it? Number 6. Launch Base Zone. Sticking with the Death Egg theme, the final zone of Sonic 3 takes place at its launching pad, after Robotnik has made his repairs to said ship. Once again, I enjoyed the high-speed sections on offer here, whether it's general running, zooming through tubes, or flying across zip wires. There's an interesting version of the Orbinaut Badnik again. This time it will only move when you do, albeit in one direction, but they can be tricky to avoid. Knuckles reappears twice, throwing a bomb inside a building like the red-headed terrorist that he is, and also by punching the Eggmobile that Sonic has nicked and falling into some water. Thanks for coming, dude! Also, Sonic has nicked an Eggmobile! What the f***? Speaking of Knuckles, his route again takes him to a different underground section, which is slightly more challenging and adds more to the zone's replayability, like Angel Island. That music is catchy as hell too. Number 5. Emerald Hill Zone. Emerald Hill Zone is probably one of the most memorable first levels of retro gaming. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 begins with bright colours, catchy music and some awesome high-speed sections, whether you take the upper or lower routes of either act. Those familiar loops make a return alongside some fun twisty corkscrew sections. There's even some cavern-like areas where Sonic and Tails can travel through tunnels buried beneath the zone for some extra rings and power-ups. Some careful jumps across floating platforms allow access to the more unreachable parts of the zone, and Dr. Robotnik makes his return by helicoptering his way into a car in order to do some damage to his arch-nemesis. 8 easy jumps off his head will send him packing quite quickly. Emerald Hill is a fun stage to race around now that Sonic isn't speed capped like he was in Sonic 1, and set the ball rolling from one of Sonic's most memorable and beloved adventures. Number 4. Ice Cap Zone. Sonic lands on the floating island's ice caps via a Carnival Night Zone cannon to begin one of the most memorable opening sections of any zone in the series. Once you snowboard your way to the bottom and collecting rings along the way, you enter some ice-cold caverns filled with loops, slopes, catapults and yet more Orbinauts. Damn, Robotnik loves him some Orbinaut. There's plenty of hidden areas to find and routes to explore. Avoid a watery grave by jumping across icy platforms, and avoid an icy grave by watching out for those freeze rays. Having the power-ups and springs encased in a breakable ice block was also a nice touch, and the music is even more memorable today thanks to a certain new wave song from 1982. Hard times, happiest days of my life. I can see you've got better things to do, so I'll take my things and leave. Brad Buxer, you sneaky devil you. Number 3. Green Hill Zone. What more can be said about the opening zone of the opening Sonic game? It's Green Hill Zone for crying out loud. Whenever people even think of Sonic the Hedgehog, they think of Green Hill Zone. It was crucial that Sonic Team got this stage right, as it basically introduced Sonic to the gaming public back in 1991. Green Hill is full of speed, loops and tunnels, which provide all the fun and showcase what Sonic could do. Watch out for spikes and spike bridges, crumbling platform edges and those nasty chopper badniks. Check the trees for hidden power-ups and bounce off springs to reach higher planes. If you really want to play a zone that screams Sonic the Hedgehog, then Green Hill Zone is that zone. Even the first boss fight is memorable, with Robotnik's swinging ball of doom. Avoid that and use the 2 platforms to reach him. You only get one chance at a first impression, right? Well, Green Hill Zone passed that test and is still one of my favourite stages to replay over and over again. Number 2. Chemical Plant Zone. The music, the loops, the speed, the tubes, the ramps. Unlike Sonic 1's second zone, Sonic 2's kept up the pace from the first. There's so much speed in your Chemical Plant Zone that the camera can barely keep up at times, and you really felt like Sonic was a very fast little critter indeed whenever you played this zone. I love the massive ramps where you can build up all of this speed to send Sonic flying through the air to an area above, or spinning through loops, loops and more loops. That music is awesome too. I just wish that this zone, particularly Act 1, was a bit longer, as it's so fast that it's over far too quickly. Did you really hate this section of Act 2 where you could drown in the rising water really easily? Well, you can avoid it completely by taking a nifty shortcut higher up, complete with more loops, speed and power-ups, sending you right to the boss fight. Getting all 8 hits in on Robotnik in one go here is extremely satisfying too. And coming in at number 1, it's Flying Battery Zone. Since we last saw this flying battleship at the end of Angel Island Zone, it's had a repaint and seems a hell of a lot bigger. I absolutely adore this zone and it takes my personal number 1 spot on this personal top 10 list of mine. When I play a Sonic game, I want to experience a sense of speed but stay in control. I want to collect loads of rings and smash loads of robots to pieces. I want to race around corkscrews and loops and send Sonic flying all over the place. I want a cool song to listen to while I'm playing it. Flying Battery Zone offers me all of this. There's propellers to swing from, hidden routes to find, these swinging balls that send you upside down across the ceiling, corkscrew cylinders to run around, monkey bars to swing across, and egg capsules that contain rings and enemies scattered throughout the place. Even the boss of Act 1 is an egg capsule where you have to make it hit itself in order to beat it. Some may find it difficult, but once I got to grips with how the zone worked, Flying Battery Zone became my favourite zone of the Egg Saga Sonic games. Fantastic. So there you have it. I really hope you enjoyed this list. Do you agree or disagree with it? What were your favourite zones from the Egg Saga Sonic games? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and happy gaming. This has been RetroDanno.